Hi, good morning. I thought I would do another small video to show everyone how Kenya looks nowadays. I am on Magadi Road and I am heading up Magadi Road towards Bomas roundabout, which people now call Galleria roundabout. And this is the current state of traffic. This is the dip coming up over the river that goes into the game park. So as you can see, traffic is quite hectic on Magadi Road, especially in the mornings. It's about 5 minutes past 8, but it's a lovely sunny day. On the left coming up is Bagani East Road, which used to be a bridle path but is now a main road. It heads to the Catholic University and also to the Catholic University Quetta accommodation, which is accommodation for 5,000 students. So you can imagine how busy these roads are nowadays. I'm sure many of you remember riding down this bridle path on the left. So I will pause because there's quite a lot of traffic, and I'll keep going when we get closer to places you might recognize. So we've passed Bagani East Road. We're now heading to the second dip towards the Bomas roundabout. On this dip is the KWS entrance to the game park coming up on the right hand side. We're just passing a hotel on the left. It's called Hotel Troy. I'm going to pause again because there is loads of traffic, otherwise you're just going to be watching traffic in one place. So we're coming up to the game park entrance on the right hand side. It's the Langata Road gate. You actually are not allowed to go in this gate anymore. It's closed. You can use either the main, no, not the Langata Road gate, the Magadi Road gate. You can either use the gate, the main gate on Langata Road, or you can use the gate at Sheldricks further down Magadi Road, but you can't go in this gate anymore. So there's a very strange situation that happens on Magadi Road in the mornings where the police for some reason block one lane of traffic. You'll see it at the Bomas roundabout, and then they force 2 lanes of traffic down this 2-lane road. Very bizarre, because there's loads of people that turn out of roads and come straight into oncoming traffic, but that's what they do here. So you can see coming up to, on the left hand side we have Brookhouse School, which is a fantastic building, also a very nice school. You can see ahead where they've blocked the traffic in the right hand lane and allowed all the traffic coming from Magadi Road and Ongata Rongai to drive in here, but then they're now doing the weird illegal turn to come out of the other way. On the left hand side we have Galleria Mall, and coming up in front of us we have the Bomas roundabout, which is, we're actually on the flyover, so the roundabout is actually above the road now. You'll see we're going round the roundabout, which is actually above Langata Road. Langata Road traffic comes from the right hand side and it can go straight underneath us, or they can come up above us here to turn into Galleria Mall further down on the left. You'll see we're going to come off this roundabout and we're going to go down onto Langata Road now, just here. So you can see where we're coming off and we're heading down onto Langata Road in front of us, and also that's the game park on our right hand side. So we're coming down the flyover from the roundabout. That's Bomas of Kenya on the left hand side now, and the game park on the right. And now this is where the roundabout joins onto Langata Road. I'm just going to scoot over to the right to avoid that traffic over there. So I'll pause for a bit because this road is very long and boring. We're coming down the old dip on Langata Road in front of us, which is where, when it used to rain horrendously, everyone had to wait because nobody could drive through because there's always used to flood. It's been raised, it's now quite high, but I'll pause for a minute and I'll start again when we get to the dip. So this is the dip, but as you can see it's been raised into quite a high, decent bridge now. On the right hand side is the game park, on the left hand side is the East African Wildlife Club. You can see we're way above the tree level, so nobody gets flooded out here anymore. But this is still a favourite crossing for baboons, so you see loads of people driving down here slamming on their brakes to allow the baboons to come in. I'm going to pause and I'll play again just now. So coming up on the right is the Langata entrance to the park, the main gate of KWS headquarters. And on the left-hand side is the cemetery, Langata Cemetery. I'm staying in the right-hand lane because matatus generally park and pick up passengers just here in the left-hand lane. There's a new road here on the left, which is actually a blessing in disguise. It's a 2-lane highway that goes straight through the middle of Kibera and comes out at Ngong Road, near a mall called Prestige Plaza. So this is the roundabout. If I carried on round to the right, I would go to back up to KWS, but I'm going to keep going straight down Langata Road. On the right-hand side now is Langata Barracks, Army Base, and then just a little bit past the barracks is a huge stadium, which is right at the end of the runway. Well, at Uhuru Garden, near Uhuru Gardens. It's almost on the end of the runway to Wilson Airport. Coming up on the right hand side, you'll see there's always a lot of traffic on this road in the morning and the evening, but they've planted loads of trees when they did it, so it's not a nightmare drive to do. I'll pause for a bit and I'll play again when we come up to the stadium. So on the right hand side just here is this new huge sports stadium. On the left hand side is the entrance to Langata Housing Estate, which is on the edge of Kibera, but many people who work in town live in houses in Langata Estate on the left hand side. Coming up on the left again is you can turn left here to get onto the southern bypass that goes all the way around the city. So if I wanted to go up to Karen, it's actually easier to come up here, jump onto this southern bypass, head up and come out near Karen on Ngong Road than it is for me to go up Langata Road. So this is the southern bypass. We're going to go over the top of it just now, where you see this yellow brick coming up. So we're basically right now going over the top of the southern bypass. There's Wilson Airport down there on the right, Uhuru Gardens on the right. And so the southern bypass on the right hand side goes all the way out to Mombasa Road and joins Mombasa Road next to a hotel called Ole Sereni. And then in front of us, we're still heading down Langata Road straight towards town. On the right hand side, there's a massive new museum that was built by our last president. It hasn't been opened yet. The whole project seems to have stalled a little bit with the new regime, but it's a huge museum, beautifully built and very well. I mean, it looks lovely in there. And then loads of petrol stations as normal. And then on the right hand side, coming up just now, is the entrance to Carnivore. And then behind Carnivore, between Carnivore and the game park, there's a massive housing estate, which basically fills up all the land between the Carnivore and the game park. So there's usually lots of traffic coming out of that housing estate first thing in the morning, and then the opposite, obviously heading back in last thing in the evening. There's a big Uchumi, used to be Uchumi on the right hand side. There used to be a very popular bar here on the left called 1824, but it's been demolished recently. Lots of intrigue around that one. And then we continue straight down to town. So I'll pause for a bit and then I'll carry on in a minute. Okay, so we're passing Langata Prison on the left and the end of the runway for Wilson Airport on the right hand side, 0714. That's where Wilson Airport is there on the right. And then the old entrance to Wilson Airport is also up here on the right, but you're not allowed to use that one anymore. You have to head down to the Embagathi Way roundabout, which is now called the T-Mall roundabout, because there's a mall on the roundabout. So for us heading into Wilson, we have to head down there and we have to go into Wilson underneath. You'll see there's a flyover that continues into town, which is a lifesaver, diverts traffic from this roundabout. So I'm heading down now underneath the flyover. On the left is the children's home, Thomas Bernardo, which has been there since I was a child. So we're heading down now. There's a flyover going up on the right that goes over the top of the roundabout, and people from there go into town straight over the top of the roundabout. So we're going to go all the way round underneath here and back up. I'll pause for a minute. Okay, we've reached the roundabout. We're going to head through this roundabout, underneath the flyover, and back up to Wilson Airport. Just under here. This is the kind of roundabout where everyone ignores the rule of give way to traffic from the right. There doesn't seem to be very many laws on any of our roads these days. Okay, so we're now heading back up towards the entrance of Wilson Airport, up here on the left-hand side now. Lots of new construction around this area. And then you've got Nairobi West and South Sea on the left-hand side. But I'll take you into the entrance to Wilson Airport. Coming up, a very strange, funny little entrance. But this is now the main entrance. See how the road comes in and then goes back out again. So we're turning into Wilson. I'll just get my pass out and you can have a quick look. There's the old Shell petrol station still there. So now the entrance into Wilson's very different to how it used to be. You have to come through this police check and the gate, etc. So I'll pause for a minute and then I'll carry on when we get through the police check and the gate and everything else. Okay, so we're through the barrier to Wilson. So now you have to come in the back way. Because it's turned into this is all now a one-way system into Wilson Airport. So we come in here opposite the police station and then we'll have to turn right here. With Kenya Airports Authority offices are on the left-hand side. So we're going to turn right, and this now goes up to the old road, which used to be the entrance. Up here on if you look to the right-hand side a little bit, you might see the old entrance. So this is now the old way in. This is where you used to have to pay to get into Wilson Airport. And that's in front of you is arrivals. And then we're actually going to turn to the right down to my office. I'll keep going down until we get to the Area Club because there might be things that some of you remember down here. So this is the inside Wilson Airport road. So we have to do, so I come down Langata Road, and if they opened the old gate that used to be at the top past at the other end of the runway near the carnival entrance, we would have been able to avoid coming all the way down this extra sort of 5 kilometers and just come in that gate, but they don't want to open those gates. They want to keep everything as a single gate at the other side. Okay, so we're coming up to the end of the runway again, which we just passed on Langata Road. The runway is coming up on my left hand side. So that's the end of the runway there. And we're going to continue straight up towards my office, past the Area Club. I'll pause for a bit because this is a bit boring, and then I'll start again. Okay, so we're coming up to the entrance to the Area Club, which several of you might recognize this part. The road hasn't changed much. The Area Club hangar has quite a lot, and this coming up now on the left hand side is the entrance to the Area Club of East Africa. There you go. Alright, I'm going to carry on to my office and I will try and do another video of a different part of Nairobi in the near future. Thanks, bye.